Hey, welcome to week 3. Believe it or not, this is our midpoint right today. This is our Tuesday. We're starting all our new assignments today. If you have not checked your grades for our 2 weeks previous discussion boards, please do that. And don't forget, of course, we have conferences this week. This is a huge week in this class. The vast majority of your points for the course will be generated in this week. So I just want to make sure we have a chance to kind of go over all of the things that you should be completing in the next 6 days. So let's get started. All right, so as always, your week 3 announcement has been posted in our Brightspace page. It was also emailed to you at your SWIC student email account. Has some interesting things in there, starting with, of course, your conference link. So here I've included the link to join me in Zoom on the day of your conference. All you have to do is click it. I've also included the meeting ID and the passcode in case it asks you for those things, although ideally it should not. So I suggest you try to log into Zoom maybe a little bit early just to make sure that you can access it. The other thing I would tell you is make sure you have a strong Wi-Fi signal and don't wait till the last minute. Our conferences are only 15 minutes. So if you're late or if you have technical trouble, it doesn't really allow us to meet and I have to go on to the next student who's already signed up for that next time slot. We just want to be as prepared as we can. In your conferences, we're just going to discuss what your plans are for the assignments that are due this week. So let's look at those first. I am going to our course tools links where it says assignments. In here, you will see both of our assignments that are due this week are listed here. This is where you will submit these assignments. All assignments have to be submitted in Brightspace. I will not accept for credit any assignment emailed to me. It has to be submitted here. And there's some pretty good reasons for that. It's 2024. We all know that plagiarism and chat bots and chat GPS are all a thing. I'm not going to spend my time initially looking to see if these things are being used in your materials. In fact, I assume that you're not. You didn't have to take this class, you chose to. So I assume that you are doing the work. But submitting it via Brightspace means that the computer does the initial check for me. So therefore, your assignments must be submitted here. Also, just as a reminder, since we're talking about documentation and giving proper credit to sources and making sure your work is authentic and academically appropriate, both of these assignments should be formatted in MLA format and should give credit to all sources used. Okay, with that said, right, this is where you submit them, but the assignments themselves, if you click on them, you'll see that it says, hey, look at the full assignment details in Google. It has a link there. So for your first major assignment, if you have not read through all of these details, I highly suggest you do, particularly where it has the requirements. Making sure that you're meeting the basis of what I've asked you to do. Assignment number 2, of course, is a multimedia presentation. So the format of that is different. You have lots of choices to do here. The things that you don't have choices about is that it has to be over the novel Kindred and it has to focus on one theme from that novel. I've given you lists here to choose from, ways to think about it. But again, I would definitely look at the requirements assignment part of this to make sure you are meeting those checklist items. Beyond that, of course, as we have every week, we have our discussions. This week, both of our discussions are way down here in our reader response category. So you'll see you have one that strictly deals with our readings that are not finishing our novel. You'll get to pick one and talk about the annotations that you made while reading that particular piece. And number 6 is all about dealing with themes in Kindred. In fact, I think it's probably important to look at this, maybe even start it before you work through the completion of your media project. It's designed to kind of help you think about some of those themes and issues and further kind of fill out your thought process and your analysis of what you want to present in your assignment. All right. And we did this a little backwards than what we normally do. So I'm going to end today with looking at our class calendar, right? As I say every week, I really do suggest you use it as a checklist. Have I read and finished the novel, right? That's number one. We have to do a whole project on it. Two, did I read the other things that we've been assigned this week? Have I watched the 3 videos that are listed there in terms of making sure I've done the content portion of the class? And the last items here are the things that are due. We just went over discussion board number 5 and number 6, annotations and themes and kindred. And then we know we have major assignment 1 and 2 due. Major assignment 1 is your literature analysis paper, and major assignment number 2 is your media project. Last, attend your conference. And really, I'm hoping that you're doing this early before you finish any of these other things, which will give you a chance to ask me whatever questions that you have and me to kind of see what your thought process is to see if there's anything we need to course correct before we get those final submissions. And the very last thing I want to show you before I go today is just in our Google Class space, where it says assignments and examples, there is an example of each of the major assignments. So you'll see it says literary analysis paper, and there's one that says Between the World and Me. So I wanted to show you a video. This video media project is the same assignment done on a different novel. So this novel was done on this project was done on the novel Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates, which is not something that I assigned this semester, but I, switch things up a bit. The format of it is exactly the same, though, of the assignment. So I thought it would be a good thing for you to look at just to have an idea of one way in which you can structure your media project. Okay, and with that said, that's week 3. Looking forward to meeting all of you in your conferences and seeing what you submit in your assignments. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, give me an email.